Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Sagittarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. If there's something you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Sagittarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And I like the moon card. That is kind of the new moon. It's kind of the dark portal, right? It's the doorway, the other side of which we can't really discern much. We don't know exactly what's coming, right? We don't know precisely what is on the other side of that doorway. But I think that this is part of the fun. If everything were predictable, then there would be no novelty, right? There would be there'd be nothing to realize. There would be nothing to discover. There would be nothing to do, right? So we have this, I think, big change coming in your life. I think it's something that we aren't really sure what it entails. We don't know. There's hesitation, right? Got a Princess of Cups, a Three of Pentacles, okay, an Ace of Cups, an Ace of Pentacles, okay, all right, maybe Three of Cups over here, let's see, oh, a Nine of Pentacles, that's even better. If you follow your bliss, you follow your dream, yes, the future's uncertain, but it's giving you the potential to really succeed. Nine of Pentacles. That's the Nine of Pentacles in a very concrete, real, tangible, physical way is the best card in the tarot pack, right? We don't want it to be by itself, though, of course, and it's not. But it's literally the best card, right? And I think what we're seeing here is that you're stepping out into unknown territory here. That you've gone out on a limb, following your dream. This is something that you feel, and you're saying, I'm you know what? I'm just gonna try it. I'm gonna do it. And it's scary as heck. It is uncertain. It is, but it's new. It's novel. It's challenging, and it's through challenge. It's through facing our fears, really, that we're able to grow and make progress. Anyway, so this is a very spiritual path for you. But in a very real way, Spirit is saying that, look, you're gonna follow your dream here. And there is at least now the potential that you're going to succeed at it. Now, this is really saying if you don't try, you can't succeed. If you don't go after your dreams, you're never going to achieve them or materialize them. Okay? But Spirit's doing more than that. Spirit's not just giving you the potential of your dream coming true, but showing you that once you take that first step, it's inevitable that you will see progress, that we will see the visible signs, the visible manifestations of your dream. Very nice. I love this. Maybe we need a little bit of fire, though, right? We got the Death card. We got the Fool card. We got the Empress card. Come on. And a Four of Pentacles. No fire, but we have even better. We got the Fool, right? And the Fool is kind of the energy that kind of comes to this precipice, this life-changing moment, and just says, yeah, sure, let's go, right? Not a second thought. Doesn't tremble in fear, doesn't shake. It's not a Scooby-Doo cartoon. It's just, yeah, let's go. I was going to say bravely facing the unknown, but it's not even a bravery. It's just kind of like, yeah, of course, what else would I do? There's a nonchalance here, and I love it. I think it's really, really great. But we do need to prepare ourselves because it is going to be a lot of work. I like that we have Ace, and we got Ace here. We've got Ace, we've got 3 and 4. And I think that there is so much potential for growth in whatever you're doing here. But what we are hoping for right off the bat, first things first, is stability, right? We're looking to at least reach the first encampment where we can be, where we can relax, right? And so we've got that Four of Pentacles there at the end, but we've got the Nine of Pentacles as the heart of the thing, okay? And this is growth, this is change, this is visible gains, right? And I think it's very important because it's only by you facing your fears, it's only by us embracing challenge, embracing the unknown that we're able to grow at all. It's through going out on a limb, right? Every human development is a result of somebody going out on a limb somewhere, right? Somewhere, at some point in time. And I think that it's through this process of you kind of having this dream, having this wish, and just saying, I'm just going to go for it, right? This is, I think it's both bringing hardship to your life. There are challenges, right? But it's a transforming energy. We got that Death card here. This is transformation and change. That's not always easy. But it's through facing our fears and overcoming challenges, facing hardships, enduring things. Sometimes it's not about overcoming, it's just about enduring it, right? But it's through all of these processes that we become the marvelous, complex human beings that we are, right? And this is really good. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. Let's give it a couple of rounds here. Make sure we shake it up pretty good. Okay, that's the one. We're going to put the frog right on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. But it will, let's move this over here. It will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during this program you feel like you know what that card is, well, I want you to put your prediction down in the comments, okay? We can do it together. What do I always say? Group exercise, right? Let's take a look around the room one more time and see what we've got for our major arcana. Well, we've got the moon, and then we've got, obviously, a lot of change taking place. This is a card of change. You're right on the precipice, right on the threshold of something big, but a little scary, a little unknown, right? We've got the Death card. That is the slow and gradual process of change. It's by going through these precipices, by going over the falls, right? By going through all of these kinds of situations in your life that we are intricately involved in this process of change, the gradual evolution of our souls, of ourselves, of our minds, bodies, hearts, our spirit. And the Fool is, it's also a card of change. The Fool is kind of the result of change, right? The Fool is kind of that energy that is that has transcended. It's kind of like we've transcended this situation that we're in, and then the spirit kind of rises up. This is a volatilizing of the fixed, right? We're in this state of things in our life. We're in this position, this form of energy, this structure that we're in. The Fool is the ghost that rises up out of that into the new level, right? And we get more and more refined, more and more subtle energy, more and more spiritualized, right? And so this is really a kind of rising up from the material world even into this kind of new level of being. Very, could be very abstract, but I think what this is symbolizing is that this is like a new beginning. This is a fresh start for you. This is a transcending, and it's kind of up on a new plane, right? And not only that, but it's in the position of the environment. So I think that this is really you taking that leap, right? Not with a lot of worry. We don't see any kind of worrying cards here. We have aces, we have 3s and 4s. We've got the 9, we've got the progress, right? We've got the physical, practical changes that you can see and feel and taste and touch and smell. And that's part of the abstract kind of evolution that's a little bit less, tangible. So it's kind of the spiritual change and the practical, earthy, terrestrial kind of change, right? The Empress card too. I mean, that is that's kind of the best life, That is now the result of all of this. This is us now being well established on this higher plane. And it's in this position of kind of what we don't want, the fear, worry, concern. And it's kind of like you're trying not to think of the biggest goal, the big exciting, oh my God, I could be a millionaire, Try not to think about that. Trying to think of like, okay, I just want to get to the first marker, the first milestone. Like this is what we're focused on. We're not focused on the finish line. We're focused on, okay, I got to get through the first, the first mile or the first kilometer of the race. We're breaking it into chunks, right? We think, oh my gosh, I want to be Empress status. I want to be in my best life. This is paradise. I can't wait to get there. Everything is pristine and perfect and ideal. All my pets, my plants, my people, everything is here. And this is this is down the road. What we do is break it up into manageable chunks. And this is a manageable chunk, right? And this is what you're trying to focus on. And that's why I think the Empress card is what we don't want. I don't want to worry about that absolute bliss and paradise that I'm working toward, that I'm building here. But we see it. We know that it's coming. And the Fool sometimes just like wants to just live in that bliss. But we've got to do the physical work first, Fool, before we get there. So the Fool kind of wants to just already be there. And indeed, I think part of us in spirit are, if we think, time's not linear, time and space is a construct, all that sort of thing, then really we already are in that future state. And the Fool just wants to close its eyes and be there and just experience it. But in a very practical, physical, tangible way, we've got to do the ace, the 3, the 9, the 4, We got to keep doing the ace 3 and 4, ace 3 and 4, ace 3 and 4, which all together make 9. I mean, not mathematically, but if you add in the Ace of Cups, it does, right? Pretty sure. We have 4, 7, 8, 9. So all these cards together, really all the cards on the table that are, pip cards, all the numbered cards here, they all work to create this 9. This is how we make progress. By focusing on the very next goal in mind, starting out on that, dealing with the problems that arise in that current phase, like we're trying to run the first kilometer of a marathon race, okay? And this is our first step on that kilometer. This is us understanding kind of in the moment what's happening in this kilometer. What's the terrain like here? What's the weather like right now? How am I feeling right now, right? We have to really work together with our mind, body, soul, heart, all of this stuff in order to be in the present moment. Okay? Focus on what you're doing right now and let's get through this first kilometer. Okay? And if we do it always with the background of this love, this bliss, the source of all joy, like this is your dream, remembering that this is in your heart and this is that purity, that you have such a love for this. Like I really feel like you're just about to start on this big marathon race. And it's this first kilometer that we're going to focus on. But this is your love. This is your dream. This is what I think we finally have made that decision, or maybe the decision came weeks ago, but I feel like this is when things are really starting to get going, where it's just, this is my dream, and heck with it, I'm just going to do it. Come what may, success or failure, doesn't matter, I'm going to do it. And just by you doing that, making that decision is a win. Because most of us feel like, I really want to do that, I would love to do that, that's my dream, but I don't think I can, right? Not you. You don't think one way or the other. You're just doing it. You're the Fool. Of course I'm going to do it. Of course I'm going to try. And I think you have all of the necessary numbers here, all of the necessary virtues, right? All of the necessary qualities within you to get her done, to get through this first kilometer And then we do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're making progress. We go through this cycle again and again and again. And that's the way we continually grow and grow and grow and get closer and closer and closer and closer to this rather abstract ideal of the Empress, that paradise, that land of milk and honey, whatever the goal is there for you, right? But it's part of a spiritual process for you as well, all right? It's part of a larger evolution of your being. Not only is this taking place on the physical realm, right? Reaching these milestones, reaching these markers, whatever they are, and as part of the kind of overall progress of your terrestrial life. But I think that you're realizing that it is through these major arcana, especially these two, being on this precipice of the unknown, and it's almost like you get to that first, well, really it's every moment is unknown. Because let's say we're running that first kilometer, right? And we think, okay, the weather, how I feel, okay. What's going on around me? What's the terrain like? Okay. All of that can change. The weather can change in an instant. You could get a stitch. Suddenly the ground could slope downward, or God forbid, it could start to incline. And we have to adapt on the fly to that. So every moment is this precipice of the unknown. We don't know what's going to happen next. We can predict it with relative certainty. Well, the weather's nice. I don't see any clouds. Probably for this kilometer, the weather will be all right. I'll try not to get a cramp in my leg or something by just making sure that I pay attention to my technique and everything like that. But it's through this continual process of facing our fears, facing our challenges, that we continue to evolve and grow and become more marvelous and complex human beings. Now, with the Death card, sometimes this isn't an easy process, because sometimes as we're growing and evolving, we're leaving other stuff behind. To me, I kind of feel like this is really, this is a force that's moving through the universe and leaving a wake. Leaving things in the path behind it. And it's not always pleasant. Sometimes we're making this progress and we have to leave other more comfortable forms of ourselves behind. Really shedding skin here. The things that we used to enjoy doing, our childhood even, or the comfortable place we lived, or the comfortable job that we had. So leaping into this precipice, you're leaving something behind that is kind of like, hey, where are you going? Stay here, And it's not always easy, but we're challenging ourselves. And it's the biggest challenge is to get out of our comfort zone, to get out of where we feel comfortable. And the Four of Pentacles, well, that's going to feel pretty good. You get through that first kilometer, and, maybe there's people there giving you little cups of water, like those little shots of water when you're running a marathon or something. And there's chairs. People are sitting down, spectators. They've got their big, whatever drinks that they drink. And it's tempting to just say, well, come on, I did a kilometer already. Like, that's pretty good, Maybe I'll sit down and rest. So it's tempting to stay where it's comfortable, but part of your spiritual energy is knowing that it's by pushing ourselves ever further. And maybe in, let's say, a marathon situation, you don't just wake up one day and have this dream. You wake up from a dream and you say, I'm going to do it. And then the very next day, you go out to the marathon and you run the marathon, kilometer by kilometer by kilometer, mile by mile by mile. Maybe it doesn't work that way. Maybe the first time you only do 1 kilometer, and then you do have to sit down and rest, right? And then you wait a couple weeks or whatever, and then you say, okay, I'm going to try again. Now I'm going to run at least 2 kilometers, or whatever the equivalent in miles is. So it's not that we have to do it all at once, but we realize that we are going to be confronted with a lot of these kind of scary prospects. It's like, wow, that kilometer was grueling last week. Now I've got to do 2. I might just feel better staying home. Because that prospect of doing now 2 kilometers, I remember how bad 1 was. Now I got to do 2. Are you kidding me? But the death card, this energy within you, is saying we have to leave that comfortable place behind. If my body is always in comfort, if my mind and heart are always comfortable, then I'm not growing. I'm not really doing anything. Sometimes we need the comfort, the rest, right? You work out at the gym, you've got to take some time to let the muscles recover, to let your cardiovascular system kind of adapt to the stress that you put on it, right? So there are periods of rest and activity, recovery, But really the death card is saying, are you ready to move past that point? You've already attained that 1 kilometer. Is that as far as you're going to go? Or are you going to keep going? So when we say that, hey, you've decided one day, you woke up and say, you know what? I'm going to follow my dream. Well, don't expect the Empress success right away like that, like the Fool wants. The Fool jumps into something and says, I'm going to run a whole marathon today. Well, maybe you haven't moved your legs in like 20 years, so it's going to be hard, right? I couldn't do it. I'm in this chair a lot during the day. If I had to run a marathon, I'd have to work my way up to it. I'd have to start slow. And there'd be some setbacks. And I think that's what we've got to prepare for. The Empress is in this position for a reason, because we know that we can't expect to just suddenly get through with the race. Suddenly have that paradise, land of milk and honey, best life, Empress status energy. We've got to go through this cycle. If you have the heart, you're going to go ace, 3, 4, as many times as it takes, always doing a little bit better than the last time. So if you say, okay, that's it, this is my dream, I'm going to do it. Yeah, do it, but don't expect it to just be instantaneous. Because if you have that expectation here, like this card's here, then when we only get to the 4 and we say, okay, now I've got to maybe rest and recover, and I got to come back next week and try to do 2 kilometers. If we have that experience, and we might feel like, oh gosh, I set out to do my dream and I failed. It was my dream to run a marathon. I only got through 1 kilometer. And then we feel disappointed. Then we start getting some of these other cards, and thankfully we don't have 5s and all this kind of stuff. Because we start getting down on ourselves. We think, God, I failed. I didn't do it. My dream didn't work out. Well, it's the last time I follow my dream, right? Because we have this unreal expectation. And that's the Fool. And every card has light and shadow, right? That's the kind of the Fool being a little bit naive, thinking it's just going to leap into this abyss and land in the best life. I think that there's some magic to that, and there's some practical benefit to experiencing things like that. We also have to do the work and realize that it wasn't built in a day, right? The Empress energy was not realized in just one effort, one cycle. So this process of living your dream, it's going to take time. Yeah. And it's going to be this kind of, it's going to be, maybe it's going to feel like slow, gradual progress, right? Well, maybe not. Maybe it'll pick up the pace. Maybe it'll start to really kind of snowball and go faster and faster. But we have to be ready to continue this cycle and reach these milestones, and then always be willing to push past it next time. Okay? Because you're making that decision, and as long as you have the heart, as long as blood is still pumping in here, you're following your dream. You have to know what to expect. Okay? And really, it's to expect the unexpected, right? To expect it to take time, to expect it to have challenges, not to expect it to suddenly, oh, I'm there, oh, blink my eye and I'm across the finish line of a 26.1 mile race. However many kilometers that is, I don't know. Let's look at the mystery card. Now, hopefully this won't be the challenging 5s that we're talking about. I do not want a 5 of swords. I'd take a 5 of wands, though. That'd be all right. A little bit of fire energy. I would take an ace of wands, surely. I would take an emperor card, yes. If you have a prediction, I want you to put it in the comments. Let's see what we've got. The Temperance card. Well, this is your power card. I like to ring the bell whenever we get the power card in a reading, okay? And this is the card that rules the sign of Sagittarius. This is your superpower card. This is your extraordinary, complex, and marvelous being, right? That is you. And it's moderate, it's temperate, it has reasonable expectations. It has this excitement, it has this fool energy, but it also has this very sound and sober expectation. I have this, I want to suddenly be in the Empress energy, but I know it's going to take some work, so we can have both sides of it. We can have this magical thinking of the fool that just says, I'm going to leap into this abyss, and I'm going to pop out the other side in that paradise of my success, right? And we have to visualize that, but we also have to kind of visualize and mentally prepare for all of the steps in between. See yourself crossing the finish line. See yourself existing in that Empress energy, but also be ready for all the work it's going to take to get there, you know? And I think that you've got this. This is extraordinary. And I think you're doing something extraordinary. I would love to hear about it if you want to leave me some comments. We're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's one down below. New readings for Sagittarius every Wednesday and Sunday, 6 a.m. Chicago time. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It does not cost you anything. And yeah, leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. Let me know what this dream is for you. Yeah, it's extraordinary. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.